What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the channel. If it's your first time here, I'd like to welcome you to the channel, this little community that we have. I'm just having a hard time. It's like my tongue half works today. Community. We, on this channel, we go through gear. We talk about songwriting. We go through studio processes and best practices. I learn from you. You learn from me. We share things that are going on. You drop me comments. Let me know what you think about the videos. You subscribe to the channel. I give you content. It's a great symbiotic relationship that we have, and I'm grateful for you. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at QSC's K10.2, however you want to say it. They're compact, powerful, little buddy loudspeakers. And I got a set a while back before I went on a trip out west. I'm just now getting them dialed in. I've got 1 gig under my belt. I've got the PA set up downstairs. We're going to go take a look at it. We're going to talk through the speakers. We're going to talk about who these loudspeakers are for, whom they may not be for, and go through all of the strengths of these speakers. I would say I'll also give you some of the negatives that I have, but I have 0 negatives to share with you about these QSC K10.2s so far. And when they do arise, I'm sure we will have a discussion about them. If you are not subscribed to the channel, I'd like to invite you right now to hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications. Then I would like to ask you to drop me a comment. Let me know where it is that you are in the world and what you're into. Are you a home studio nerd like me? Are you a singer-songwriter? Are you in the process of hunting down, building out a new PA, and you discovered this video through that? Whatever it is, I'd love to know more about you, and I'd love to know the kind of videos that you're into. And yeah, welcome. So with that said, it sounds like somebody just fired off a lawnmower or a pressure washer outside. So we're going to cut this a little short, make our way downstairs, check this PA out. Who's coming with me? Let's get it. All right, so we've made our way down here to the basement, and as you can see behind me, I've got my PA set up. I've got all the lights set up, and I'm really just, every now and then I like to come down here, especially when I work a new gear into the rig, set the whole thing up as if it's at a gig so I can see what's going on with it. I want to talk about just a few considerations if you're in the process of building out your first PA. If you are someone who is just trying to decide whether you want to upgrade to the QSC K10.2s, you can skip ahead. But if you are in the process of building a PA from scratch, the QSC K10s may not be right for you yet. They're a pretty hefty investment. They're about $1,000 a piece. The $900 for the K10s, the K12s for about $1,000 plus tax. So you probably could start with a, Yamaha makes some great speakers. I'll link some cheaper alternatives in the description below in case any of you guys, this may be a little expensive for you guys. Maybe you got a set budget that you need to be able to build a whole PA out for. You're going to need cables. You're going to need extension cords. You're going to need power cords that are probably going to be longer than what they came with. You're going to need speaker stands. You're going to need microphone stands. You're going to need microphones, all the things. You're probably going to need a mixer. So it can be really a lot to put your money into on the front end. So if you're just starting out, I might advise, if it were me, if we are friends, I would assume if you're watching this right now, we're homies. And like I would tell any of my homies, figure out a way to get the most bang for your buck. And if you're starting from scratch, you probably only have $1,000 maybe budget to build a whole PA out. So this is going to be out of question for that scenario. But I would also, all that to kind of circle back and get to whatever PA that you get, make sure that you're allocating some of that budget to get some durable, good cases and covers for all of the gear that you're using. And it's the last thing that we want to spend money on. It's like spending money at the mechanic for something you know that you need to get done in your car, but it's just like not where you want to be putting the money. I can tell you from experience, learn from my mistakes. As you can see now, all of my gear has covers and cases for it because I've destroyed some really great gear over the years by not protecting it and by not making that a priority and realizing that that is every bit as important as having good gear, as investing in the things that are going to protect it and help it carry as much value as possible. If you do decide to resell but also making sure that it's going to work when you need it to work because you've taken care of it. That's it. All right. So let's talk about what I want out of a PA and probably what you want out of a PA. When I think about what I want out of a PA, there's some pretty obvious things that I want, but I think a better place to start is scenarios that you don't want, like kind of worst case scenarios at a gig. So let's just picture this. It's mid-August right now, early August. You've loaded in at some upstairs bar. You've got to set a PA up to play a happy hour gig. You get all the gear up there. You're sweating your balls. You're trying to, well, if you're like me, you're sweating bad and you're trying to get set up as quickly as possible so that you can go sit in the car or sit in somewhere that's got AC, change clothes, and get your heart rate down and settle in and dry off before you have to start playing. Does that sound familiar? And then you start the gig, you're feeling good, it's sounding good to you. Back behind your monitor or however you're hearing, maybe it sounds good to you. And then about 3 songs in, somebody comes up and they're saying, hey, you sound so muffled, we can't hear you in the back, or it's way too loud up front. All the kind of things that will totally knock you off of your game when you're trying to play live. And that is a worst case scenario for me. Whenever those things happen, it drives me nuts. So I want to do everything I can on the front end to make sure that I'm addressing all that and to make my job as easy as possible. Welcome to the QSC K10.2s. One of the things that they pride themselves on, and I'm gonna have to look at this for a minute. I know the acronym, but I can't remember what it's called. Directivity matched tone. Directivity. Let's see what it says right here. Directivity matched transition, DMT, but not like you think. So what that does is gives a full 90 degree on the K10s. I think it's 120 with the K12s, but a 90 degree full spectrum, warm, rich sound from here out. So if I'm running 2 of these, and I can tell you that just the way that it carries, the way that the lows carry, the way that the highs carry, they don't sound muddy or harsh on the lows. And it's a 10-inch driver. It's crazy how rich and full the sound is. But also the top end is just creamy and sweet. It's not that brittle, harsh, distorted kind of highs that can be really troubling in some of the things that you can find in some of these lower cost, more affordable loudspeakers. They sound absolutely amazing. The frequency range on a K10.2 is 50 hertz up to 20,000 kilohertz. And to me, that's just baffling to me. That the lows are so rich. You can certainly pair, they make it really easy to pair a sub with these, but I can't imagine a scenario where I'm playing a solo acoustic or a duo gig where I would pair a sub. They just have really rich, full lows. You could even DJ with these. I had the fortune of playing on a bunch of gigs where the sound company was running K12s and K10s, and I kept seeing them run the K10s as mains and using the K12s as wedges, as stage monitors. And I thought that was so crazy until I went out front and listened to it. It's just, especially when paired, I was playing in a big band, I think a 12-piece full horn section, backup singers, so like corporate wedding band, and 2 subs, 2 tops. It was insane how good it sounded out front. So 2,000 watts powered speakers, 50 hertz to 20,000 kilohertz frequency range. They're 30 pounds a piece. They're very, very small. I got the totes for them, the bags. The weight distribution on them also is so even and so easy to carry. They really thought of everything. One of the cool things about it too is just like the versatility and ease of use with these speakers. So on the back of the speakers, it has some DSP, some presets that you can leverage that are designed for whatever application you're using. So if you're using them live, and I'm using just the regular live setting with these, but it's got a live setting, it's got a live bright setting. So if you need more top end out of the speaker than what you feel like you're getting, it's got a setting for those. If you're using them as stage monitors, the angle that they sit as stage monitors is perfect where you want them. They also have 2 presets for stage monitors. If you're playing a solo acoustic gig and you just need a mic in and a 1/4 inch DI in, or I guess you wouldn't even have to use a DI with these. It has 3 customizable channels to be able to dial those in for what you need to even help you offset even needing a mixer if you're using it. So you could see, theoretically, you could go vocals, guitar, and then one in for your iPhone to be able to play music during your set breaks. It's pretty awesome. It also has a setting for bass guitar, so you could use that as a bass amp plugging straight into it. Same with keys. I've actually seen it used as a keyboard amp on stage more than probably any other application short of just running sound, and they sound great. They also say that you can, I have not tested this, but I bet I will in a future video. They say that you can use these to mix with as near field monitors. It has a setting, a preset setting for mixing in studio. So I'm not taking my focals down just yet, but I'm thinking I might in a future video set up the SonarWorks reference ID software and take a snapshot of what these sound like just to see what that EQ range looks like, and maybe try to mix with them and see what they sound like. Because if they've hit a grand slam out of the park in every other way, I can't imagine that they would sound awful mixing in them. So let's talk about what else. They're made out of ABS hard plastic. So the cases are made out of ABS plastic, and the grills are fabric backed steel grills. They just look sleek. They sound insanely good. They're tiny. They're light. They're super powerful. What's not to love? If I'm not addressing anything, if you have any questions about these I haven't addressed, drop me a comment. I'm here to answer the questions. I'm not going to do any audio samples of these. I do recommend, if you're interested in these speakers, find someone locally that's a dealer and go put your ears on them, because that's the best way. If I could certainly do an out of them and try to get some sort of recording and give you some sort of skewed idea of what they're going to sound like. You really just need to go put your ears in front of them, and you'll be glad that you did. Again, who is this speaker for? Well, I would say this speaker is for someone like me. My old speakers are JBL PRX 615s. They sound insane. They're 15-inch driver, horn. They're 53 pounds a piece, 1,000-watt crown amp built into the back of them. They have served me incredibly well. I love the way they sound, but every time I have to load them out of this basement, carry them upstairs, and load them in my car, they take up a bunch of space. They're about twice as heavy as these speakers, and I've got to load them in to wherever I'm going and break them down. Sometimes that's upstairs, sometimes it's downstairs. And to be able to have something that's a smaller footprint, that's going to be less impact on my body, having to lug the things around, I'm all about that. Something that's going to be super durable and bulletproof, I'm all about that. Something that's going to be really easy to use in whatever application I need, and I'm all about that. So I would say that these speakers are perfect for anybody that's upgrading their PA. Somebody that has a discernible ear of what they're looking for out of a loudspeaker, that understands why you would spend $1,000 on one speaker. If you're playing gigs and you already have money coming in, and really what you need to do is keep it sounding better and better and better, and you're trying to ramp your game up and make your quality of life gigging better, you're probably a great candidate for a QSC K10.2, whatever they call it. You know what I mean? So I think that's it. As you can see, I got some new mountain bikes behind me. For those of you who have been following the channel, thanks for all the love. Again, I know I've been sporadically putting out videos for the last couple of months. I had a wild, watch the last video. I went on this big journey, planned to write all these songs, document the whole thing, was in Denver to see the Rival Sons, the best rock band in America. And somebody busted out the windows of my van and stole both of my mountain bikes. And I've just been in a funk since then, trying to work my way back into being creative and being motivated to make videos and to make music, and like finally buttoning up all the insurance stuff. Luckily, my homeowner's insurance covered the bike, so I got 2 new bikes. I'm starting to pedal again a little bit. I'm a little out of shape. All that aside, thank you for all the love. Thank you for your patience, for those of you who watch all these videos and all the comments. And if you're not subscribed to this channel, now is when I want to ask you to take a minute, hit the subscribe button. It's right underneath you. Turn your notifications on so you get notified when the videos come out, and drop me a comment. Let me know if you have any questions about the QSC K10s or anything PA related, or if you've seen any of these other videos and have any other questions about that. I'm here to answer the questions. If there's some videos that you would like to see me do that you haven't seen me do, I'm here to hear that too. Until next time, I'm Justin Brogdon. You guys know what to do. Keep doubling down on your dreams. Keep chasing your passions. Show up for yourselves. Keep making all the music. We'll be seeing you in the next one. Peace.